Hi, today I'd like to give you a brief tutorial on how to fill out the IGHSAU forms on Varsity Bound. We have redeveloped our online forms that have made them part of the Varsity Bound website. While many of you have already filled out the online forms, I'd like to give you a quick tour through the forms section so you'll know where to find things. Our plan is to put out all of our forms and our documents in Varsity Bound. Now let's take a look at the new forms. In order to view the forms, all ADs must have Varsity Bound accounts. According to our admin pages, the majority of the ADs in the state already have accounts in Varsity Bound. If you do not, please contact me via email or by phone and I can help you get those accounts set up right away. When you're in the Varsity Bound account, take a look at the series of icons on the left-hand side and under your school's logo. I'd like to highlight a couple of areas that you should take a look at. The first item, which looks a lot like a Rolodex card, is the users page. This will show you all of the people that have access to Varsity Bound accounts in the past and currently have accounts. It's worth your time to take a look at the list of people that have Quick Stats access. Be sure that your current list of coaches are listed, and if there are people listed that no longer coach, I would recommend removing them. You can do that by clicking on the gray edit box by their name and clicking the red remove button at the bottom of the page. If you have a coach that is currently coaching but is not in the system, you can add them to your list by clicking on the invite page. By clicking on the invite page, you can put in your new coach's email, the access that you'd like to give them, if they're a coach or a score poster, for example, the sport that they coach at, and you can do this for both boys and girls, whatever sport that they coach at, you can add them, and then obviously hit the send button, and they'll get an email notification. The next tab I'd like you to take a look at is venues, which is the basketball court on the left-hand side. The venues show currently where your sports are played, your activities are played, and their addresses. This is very important to us as we use these locations to help with pairings and to get them set up in the Varsity Bound pages so fans can get turn-by-turn directions to each site. Again, take a look at that if there's anything new you need to add, or if you've built something new and you need to put that in there, or if you've changed sites, to make sure you delete that as well. And you can do all of those things by looking at the edit detail, clicking on the gray box and hitting the edit details button. Now let's go directly to the online forms. You can access those by hitting the Girls Athletic Union logo in the middle of the page. In that icon, you'll see all of the same forms that we've had in the past. The sport participation, which is the team entry form, which we'd like you to fill out as soon as possible if you haven't already. Again, we're asking you to just let us know if you're competing in a particular sport, the head coach's name, first and last name, the head coach's email, and their cell phone number. And again, if you're in a sharing agreement with a particular school. Other items for you to take a look at. We'll have scholarship applications there. The Elaine Cooley Scholarship will be there. The site availabilities for all of our sports, and we recommend that you haven't already done the fall sports to do that as soon as possible. Those are self-explanatory. Again, just filling out whether you can host or not, and some questions we'd like you to take a look at. In future years, you'll be able to access the 4 questions at the bottom, such as seating capacity, the side seating, ceiling height, all those things you'll be able to do next year. And basically, when you fill out these forms, again, that information will pop up. If you need that information from last year and you don't have it, please contact me. I can retrieve that information from the forms from previous years. Another thing you can look at on here that you'll want to do is official recommendations. Again, we'll have those posted here shortly for the fall sports as we wind down. But you'll be able to give softball recommend officials, which is something that we ask of all of the members. And as the seasons go on, we'll have postseason information such as roster forms and things like that will be posted in these sections under their respective sports. So keep your eye out for those. Another section we'd like you to take a look at, and many of you have filled this out already, is contracts. The contracts forms right now, basically what we're looking for there is, right now, the main one that we'd like you to take a look at is the tournament host agreement form, which everyone that hosts a regional contest needs to fill out. Again, that's a PDF that you will just sign and click to agree. Once you do that, you've filled out you will need to fill this out once for the year, and it's good for all sports that you apply for in the individual sports site availability page. So that, in a nutshell, is our online forms. And again, we'll have more of this information will come as we get more forms we will post on there as the school year goes along. But the main thing is that you do get set up and do fill out those forms. If you haven't already for this fall, if you have any questions, again, please feel free to get in touch with me. My direct extension is 515-401-1836. My email address is Jason Eslinger, JASON ESLINGER@IGHSAU.org. Thanks in advance for doing all this, and we thank you for all that you do for student athletes in Iowa.